Viruses have to be disassembled and broken down. Right? So you got to remember that. Viruses are proteins, right? Which is another nod to the late great Dr. Sebi and his conversations surrounding you not needing protein, stay away from proteins. He understood, trust me, that you needed amino acids, the building blocks of physicality, the physical life, right? And you get amino acids in all of the fruits, veggies, etc., etc. But you don't need proteins, ready-made proteins. And I really want to stress this out, even for the vegan community. If we're talking about people that have cancer, inflammatory illnesses, autoimmune disease, women that want to become more fertile, etc., etc. Even if you just want to detox, you want to leave the complex amino acids alone. You want to leave the proteins alone, and that means even means like your Beyond Meats or your Bocas or whatever your veggie meat, that your Gardines, like that even means those things. It even includes the veggie meat, because those are still complex proteins that your body has to break down and metabolize in the same way in many cases as it does flesh. Now, there are less harmful components in your veggie patties and veggie meats, etc., but you still have the problem of flooding the lymph and creating a lot of acid residues, right? So, and hopefully that'll make more sense as we continue on, right? So viruses are not bacteria and cannot be killed in the traditional sense, right? Viruses must be inhibited from their progress, from their process, from being able to become active, so to speak, right? Because that's what they really are. Viruses are like biological crystals. That's how we should see viruses. Biological crystals with information, period. Right? And they want to upload that information, and when they upload that biological information, it's going to change the existing program there. Right? And that change in the existing program might work for you, it might not. Remember, I'm the first person to introduce the conversation of horizontal gene transfer. And I introduced that based on my understanding of what was left in Kemet, right? Studying biosemiotics, and then I was able to get with some other brothers and really clue them in. And then so the conversation of horizontal gene transfer and the science buried in the Kemetic text began to, and you see other brothers, and my name doesn't get mentioned. My name doesn't get mentioned, but you guys know where the conversation started, right? But when proteins are broken down in the body, they are either recycled or they are dumped into the lymphatic system, right? And this all takes place mostly by just your kidney and the lymphatic system. So what you have to bump up, you have to cleanse, flush the lymphatic system, bump up the kidney. Now, you have a lot of idiots that will say that the body, or you are incapable of taking supplementation to increase the body's ability to detox. That is a classic fallacy propped up by the pharmaceutical industry that has a vested interest in you not understanding your body. Every single action that takes place anywhere in your body is catalyzed by a set of nutrients, right? With today's diet being largely devoid of those nutrients, a lot of actions that that's supposed to take place in your body are not, which is why people have suppressed immune systems, because they are lacking nutrition, right? And this is not a new thing. This is not a new thing. This has been known since the 1930s that the soils are getting depleted because of the farming practices, right? The same people that believe in these farming practices where, they only put 3 minerals into the soil, right? If you only put 3 minerals into the soil, irregardless of what the plant is, what is the plant going to be able to offer you mineral-wise, right? Because plants only require between 3 and 9 minerals in order for them to grow. You, on the other hand, require between 60 and 90 or 60 and 100, somewhere in between there, daily, in order for you to grow and function. So if the soil's only getting 3 minerals put back into them, but you need on average 70, 80, 90, even those of us that are on a plant-based diet are going to be lacking, right? But the pharmaceutical industry has a vested interest in slanting information a certain way. And then you have people that have not went through a naturopathic doctor program, such as myself. They haven't went through a master herbalist course. They haven't went through countless nutritional, sports nutrition, personal training. They don't have the years of 10, 15 years of practice. They don't have 2, 3 years of studying under this person, a year under that person, 6 months under this person, 5 months over here, 8 months over there, 2 years over there. They don't have the experience, but because we have social media, it gives us all access to information, which in many cases is pretty dangerous, because anybody can get in front of a camera and start to say things. And it gives people that don't know any better the idea that, oh yeah, I'm good. I could do McDonald's, I could pop pills, I can do cocaine, I can buy, weed cupcakes and weed treats, and I can eat weed treats and McDonald's, and I don't have to worry about whether my body's going to cleanse itself or not, because my kidney's going to do it all by itself, right? So we know for the most of us, at least the people that watch my channel, that's foolishness, but we have to deal with that because John Q. Public is under attack information-wise. And I recently got information, that in the same way that the 90s in hip-hop was infested with law enforcement and nobody knew who was who. Nobody knew which rappers were working with these law enforcement people, into the conscious community, the health community especially, is now infested in the same way. So, we just got to vanguard against trolling and misinformation in that vein, right? But your kidney requires a very specific set of nutrition, which is why you have renal nutritionists to help prop up the kidney's function. And then also, like we have with the detox, there are specific sets of nutrition to prop up the body's NRF2 system, which is the antioxidant system that takes most of the pressure off of the kidney having to do so much work, which you can overwork the kidney and tear up the nephron just from overworking them, right? So we want to make sure that we understand what it is that we're doing to attack virus. They need to be disassembled, right? The ones that are not, that you can't, your body's unable to disassemble, you need to inhibit them from functioning. Whatever stage they're at, right? They need to be refrozen, right? And then also you got to deal with your kidney and your lymphatic system, right? Complex proteins are non-negotiable, right? You got to go to your plants strictly. leafy greens, veggies, fruits, right? A high protein or a high viral load in your lymph or your lymphatic system. Remember, your lymphatic system is really all you have, right? And I try to teach the people where they are, so I use traditional terminology to try to broaden their horizon with newer understanding. But one of the things we have to get is there really is no difference between your blood and your lymphatic system. We're taught that you have blood, right? And then you have this amount of blood and you have 3 times that amount of lymph in your body. That's not exactly true, right? So all of these things have to be clarified. You have one circulating fluid throughout your body, which is plasma, period, right? Again, make sure you guys are out there coining. When you hear people NRF2, when you hear people talking about plasma, when you hear people talking about kinetic biosemiotic, when you hear these conversations, make sure you're tagging these people like, hey, reference Enqi. You know, hashtag Enqi said that first. Hashtag Enqi said that first, right? And there's a reason for that, right? Because we want to be able to disseminate information in an effective way that we kind of protect ourselves from the bombardment of BS that's going on right now. But if you have a high protein or viral load in your lymph, right, again, which is all you have, circulating plasma, no matter what name it's called, right? If I take a cup of water and I take a bag of Kool-Aid, right, and I empty red Kool-Aid into that water, right, that red Kool-Aid is going to make that water look red. But really, we know it's still 99% water in that cup and 1% this Kool-Aid. That's what your blood is, period. Okay? You have the plasma or lymph filled in a specific area. It's confined to the circulatory system. So the lymph plasma that's confined to the circulatory system is littered with red blood cells, right? Which makes it red to the eye. But we can't get it twisted and think that it's not lymph, right? So all of the spent proteins, etc., throughout the body that are not recycled, that are not dismantled back into amino acids to be recycled, wind up in the lymphatic system to get rid of.